Bring in Benedict College professor Dr. Leon Jeter. He's our political expert tonight. Professor, thank you for sticking around and being with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the runoff now, because it looks like Daniel Rickman, Tamika Isaac Devine headed to a runoff in 2 weeks. Who's got the advantage here?
Well, I would say they're pretty much neck and neck. I think they both had a good fight to date, and I think tomorrow morning the real work began. The idea is that you now have to get the folks who voted today back to the polls, which is going to be a challenge within itself. But even more importantly, they're going to get new people to the polls. So therefore, starting tomorrow morning, both candidates would have to hit the ground, so to speak, to put their message out there that they're concerned about issues that their supporters are concerned about, those sort of quality of life issues, education, hospitals, schools. And those are the messages that over the next 2 weeks that we need to see and hear from both candidates, because that's what's going to drive their supporters and new supporters to the polls. So I think that's what we're in for over the next 2 weeks.
Roughly 18,000 people voted in the city election in Columbia today.
Yes.
That's going to be less than 20%
Yes.
of voter turnout for a municipal election. Why is it so hard to get voters to the polls to vote for local races?
Well, always, number one, always in a mid-year, the numbers are always low anyway. But I think when you're talking about local elections, people sometimes believe that they're not that important. So that's where the education is important, getting the word out, letting people know that these small down ballot elections are just as important, because they inform the state level, they also inform the national level. But a lot of people don't look at them as being as serious or as needed as it should be, and that's why I said before, both candidates need to go out, hit the ground running tomorrow morning, and letting their supporters know that it is critical that they come out at this level and vote in larger numbers in order to make measurable differences in the local community here.
I have to ask you about a local race, a national race, I should say. Virginia, the state of Virginia,
Yes.
heavily Democrat. Looks like they're going Republican with the governor and the lieutenant governor tonight. What is this going to do to the midterms next year?
I would tell you that's going to be huge. That's going to have national implications for both parties. It also speaks to the Biden administration, their approach to how they want to handle things. And it also becomes a blueprint basically for the Republican Party on how they should move in these various states and taking back control. So I definitely tell you what happened in Virginia tonight is major, is huge, and you're going to see other states mimic that as they approach voters and supporters in the issues that they're talking about. That's very important. So keep your eye on Virginia, because as I said, it becomes a model for other states.
Yeah, Nancy Mace, the 1st District Congressman, tweeting out tonight, "Build Back Better is dead," obviously in reference to what happened in Virginia tonight.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because Virginia built themselves or hung themselves with the Biden administration. The idea that this is going to be more progressive, more innovative, forward-thinking. And when you look at that and what's happened tonight, that's not the case. Then again, it boils down to, yes, it's a mid-year. You don't normally get those numbers out, but it's the message, it's the issues, it's those cross-the-table issues, as I said, education, infrastructure, jobs, health care. Those things are really critical. And you look at a state like Virginia, where those issues as tonight was on the table, and where do we go from here? So it definitely makes a major difference on both parties, but even more so, the Biden administration and how they need to respond to support these state level elections going forward, and also how both parties need to respond as to how they should have their strategies and what to do next.
All right, Dr. Leon Jeter with Benedict College, thank you for your expertise, sir. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you very much.